my wife Karen and I have seen people riding horseback on a path that runs parallel to one of our favorite local bike trails. And knowing my keen interest in acquiring free resources for our garden, Karen suggested I contact a horse stable to see if they had manure available for pickup. A quick Google search led me to Freedom Woods Equestrian Center, which is just a 10 to 15 minute drive from our house. I gave them a call and learned that they did in fact have horse manure available. Composted horse manure has a number of benefits for the garden. It increases organic matter in the soil, improves soil structure, improves drainage in clay soils and water retention in sandy soils, provides a slow release of nutrients to plants, and attracts earthworms. A free resource like this is too good to pass up, so we loaded up the car with 5-gallon buckets and headed over to Freedom Woods. The first thing we noticed was that they did a very thorough job of covering the manure with straw. I expected there to be straw bedding, but not this much. At times it was hard to find manure for all of the straw. At first, because I was so focused on collecting horse manure, I was a little disappointed, but eventually it dawned on me that I had found not only a free resource of horse manure, but also an amazing free source of straw, which is great for compost. Not only that, there was also a separate pile that had horse manure and wood shavings. The straw and wood shavings will make a great addition to our compost and will diversify our carbonaceous compost ingredients beyond aged wood chips and autumn leaves. So I loaded up my 6 buckets and we headed home. I added the material to 3 different bins, our fall-winter bin and 2 of our smaller bins. For the 2 smaller bins, I wanted to add the material directly to the hot center. A temperature above 130 degrees Fahrenheit for at least 3 days will kill pathogens, fly larvae, and weed seeds in the manure. And this temperature is most easily achieved at the center of the pile. So I dug out the center, deposited the manure and straw there. I rinsed out the buckets that had contained the material, added the rinse water to the pile, covered it back up, and topped it off with a layer of wood chips to keep the odor and flies at bay. For the fall-winter compost pile, I moved some of the coffee grounds that had accumulated at the center towards the outside of the pile. I then added a bucket of manure and straw to the middle of the pile. Like before, I wanted the manure to be at the center, where the temperature would be the highest. I then added green yard waste around the manure and straw. Rinsed the manure bucket and poured the rinse water on the pile. Next, I added the second bucket of manure and straw. I moved some horse nuggets that had slid down the pile back to the center. I added more green yard waste, watered the pile, and covered it with aged wood chips. I then gave the pile one last watering. And this is what the fall-winter pile looked like after adding the new material. The next day, the fall-winter compost pile was already cooking away at 140 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm hoping that with the pile progressing so well, we'll be able to use the compost in the spring. With the addition of free horse manure, straw, and wood shavings, I'm now confident that we'll not only have enough materials to produce all of the free compost we need, but we'll also have a broad diversity of compost ingredients, which will make for better compost. In the future, I also plan to add composted manure to my worm bins. Well, that's all for now. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, remember, you can change the world 1 yard at a time.